Hi, my name is Johan Falk. I am a math teacher in Sweden, but I'm also a Drupal guy. And in this video, I'm going to show you a tool for planning courses and also for sharing learning and teaching resources built in Drupal. This is a project called Course Planner. You can find it on Drupal.org. It's open source and so on. There's a neat link here that leads to simplytest.me, where you can run this or get a sandbox and try this out yourself if you want to. Thanks to you guys over at Maloon and Reality Loop for simplytest.me. It's a great site. So yes, this is going to be a not very short video because I want to show you a lot of things and I only want to make one video. So sorry about that. Hopefully I can make some shorter videos later on. So this is a tool for planning and creating courses, like managing course planning, and it's also a tool for managing and sharing learning resources. I'm going to show you a number of ways of well, some things you can do with this. Let's start by adding myself a course offering. If you have a course that you want to give you, I call this a course offering, and I'm going to call this let's call it my course offering Spring 2013. I could give this a description. Let's actually do this. Some nonsense text. Scroll down. Here's some metadata you can add. I've added some, well, there's a module, submodule that gives you some of the canonical courses used in Sweden. If you're not in Sweden, then this is probably not very relevant for you, but this is a vocabulary, so you can set up your own canonical courses if you want to. This is like Mathematics 100 or something like Mathematics 100, I guess it's called. Okay, so here's my course offering. I'm on an administration page for my course offering. The first thing I want to do is probably to add lessons to my course offering to tell people when I have lessons. So let's start by adding 2013. Let's have January 21st at this time. Oops, this comma is not very good here. And let's have it 60 minutes long. Add. Clickety-click. And now an empty lesson is added at this time. And I can add some more. Let's have one at +3 days. You can enter anything here that is interpretable by the string to time function. 3 days, 8, 20, and also, well, let's have 50 minutes long, and then +4 days, 10, 10, 60 minutes, something like that. I don't know. So let's suppose I have lessons on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, usually. And this is my first week where I have the lessons, and I want to repeat this to the end of May. Then I can select these 3 lessons I want to repeat, and repeat until repeat until end of May, like here. Let's remove the time. Go. Dick, dick. Drink some tea. Here we go. And now I have all these empty lessons. How nice. What can I do with these lessons? That's kind of interesting. Let's start by going to the view page of my course offering. And here I should have myself a nice little calendar showing these lessons. And I can scroll, flip through this calendar, and I can change the view here from month to week and so on. Let's see if I can find. Here they are. Okay. And I can actually move these around, even between days and so on. That's kind of nice. Okay, let's go back to the administration page here. And you can see that these lessons have actually changed in their times. And it might be so that this day and this day we don't have any lessons because it's holiday or whatnot. So I can delete these lessons if I want to. And this is because, well, this might be useful if you want to adjust your schedule due to something. All of these lessons are individual items that you can change and move around and delete and so on as you wish. And you can down here add more specific lessons. If you want to add 2 extra lessons 1 week for some reason, you can do that as well. All these lessons are exportable. You have iCal export here. You have some CSV and Excel export. There's also a Word document export that is not very neat, but you get all this text into some kind of table in Word. And there's also a CSV export here that gives you date exports. All these dates here are exporting to some kind of Unix timestamp, which you can then paste into another course offering here and get all the lessons in one click, which is kind of nice if you have if you're like 4 teachers teaching at the same time all the time. You can save yourself some work. Okay, so that's the start. This is how to create course offerings and add lessons to them, and you get some things, well, some useful tools for this, like the calendar. Then you probably want to fill these lessons with some content. You can do this in a few different ways. You can an easy way to do it is just to click change here, and you can change the time if you want to, but you can also give the lesson a title like Introduction to the Course. Save. And then you have, now this lesson has a name, Introduction to the Course. And this will show up in the calendar, Introduction to the Course. Something that is much more useful is to create course sections. If I want to have like 3 lessons here with repetition of previous math material, then I could do something like this. Content, add, course section. Repetition from previous course. And I can have some description here, why not? This is some description. There we go. And again, we have this canonical course thing, which you might think is repetitive here because we already added this to the course offering, but these course sections can be reused across different course offerings, and I'll come back to that later. Keywords, repetition. Let's say we work with fractions here and negative numbers or something. This is like tagging style things. Save. So now I have a section here with some description that I want to use in my course offering, and I can select these 3 lessons and I fill these with a section. Select from all my sections, repetition from previous course, next, and here we are. Now we have 3 lessons filled with repetition from previous course, 1, 2, 3. This is included in the calendar, as you might guess. And now I also want to show you the week list, which I am particularly proud of. This is something that should be easy to print out and give to the students for students that prefer paper over digital content. This is a view of the lessons, upcoming lessons, and you can show all of them if you want to, like this, and you can see Monday, week 4, we have introduction to the course, and then we have repetition from the previous course, and here is the actual section that is being used here with its description. Kind of useful. And you can print this and hand out to the students if you want to. This is kind of nicely done. And you can see here as well, week 6, there's only 1 lesson because I removed 2 of them. We have some kind of holiday, I don't know. Alright, moving along. What else can we do? Well, this section here can be built out and contain more stuff. We have some description here telling students what they are supposed to learn, or just some general information I want to add. But then I can add resources as well, like sections in the book I want to use, or links, or PDF uploads, or something. And these are grouped into lists because I want to have some, we'll say, some tutorial resources and then some exercises resources, or I want to group my exercises into 2 different lists or something. Let's see how this works. Add new resource list. I'm gonna call this tutorials. I want to show this in the section summary. This means it will show up in the week list. And then I can browse existing resources. I have none right now, so I will create a new one. Let's see. Negative numbers tutorial. I'm gonna call this, let's have a book reference here, pages 12 to 13, and this is our math book. I don't know the name of it. Description if I want to, and again I can add metadata here. Let's have negative numbers. Save. Add another item. Let's have some fractions here as well. Fractions tutorial. Book reference. No, this is a video reference instead. So this is some kind of, let's link to something on YouTube. Like that. Video tutorial on YouTube. Source, this is Johan Falk, me, who did this video. Let's pretend. Now let's call this fractions and keywords and save. Now let's save this resource list now. I'm happy with it. Sorry for the sound of my computer right now. The fan is going wild. So here are my tutorials now, pages 12 and 13 in our math book, and then there's a video tutorial on YouTube. And I can also visit these resources. They have their own pages on this site, the course planner site. Okay, let's add another resource list just to be sure how to use the lists. Another resource list in the repetition from previous course. Let's call this exercises. Show it in the summary as well. Create resources. Repetition resources in the book. Let's use a book reference. And this is exercise number 1000 to 1082. I don't know. Our math book. And this is fractions and negative numbers. Save. And then I happen to have a link to, say, Khan Academy for some work there. And adding and subtracting negative numbers. This is a link, other. Let's use this one. Dividing fractions. Okay, let's actually use that name here. This is now Khan Academy as the source. It's nice to tell people where the resources come from. It's kind of giving credit where it's due. So this is fractions, and save. And save this resource list. And what have we done now? We have 2 lists of resources, one with tutorials and one with exercises. I could add another list here with like bonus exercises or easy warming up exercises or whatever, or like previous tests for this section or something. I don't know. This is now included in the week list for this course offering. Let's have a look at that. Here, repetition from previous course description, well, description of this section, and the tutorials are included. And the next lesson just says see above for description, because I don't want to include this several times. It's a waste of paper if I want to print it. Yes, so kind of useful already, right? But wait, there is more. Let's actually quickly add another section. Close. Some other section. Let's just save here. And then in my course planning, I want to use this other section for like 5 lessons or something. So I fill these 5 lessons with a section, some other section. Go. Print T. We are, yeah, and then something happens that you probably experienced before, and that is when you've done three lessons of repetition, you realize that we actually need 1 more lesson. But then you already made this plan for the entire course down here. You have some spare lessons every here and there, but you need to make room for another lesson with repetition here. And you can do this in this tool by selecting all the lessons you want to push down 1 step, and that means all except these first 4. All the others should be shifted down. That means the last lesson will be just removed, and the rest will be pushed down. So let's try this. Push lessons down, tick, 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 and there you go. You have a new empty lesson included here. So let's change this lesson, let's call it extra lesson with repetition. And I can write here from the lesson, say that I want to refer to this section, repetition from previous course, and save. So now we have actually 4 lessons with repetition. I think that I can get this summarized. Let's see. Lessons count. Here it is. So in my course offering right now, I have 55 lessons. 45 of them are empty, no content right now. We have 1 lesson with no section. This section has 4 lessons, and this section has 5 lessons. So you can get some kind of summary down here. Yes, that's almost it. Let's have a look at some other things. When I use this tool, I start in another way when I do planning. I start with a general course outline, how I want to teach a course, and then I use that course outline in my course offering. So I have like 3 classes with the same course, and I reuse the same course outline in these 3 courses. I'm going to show you how that can work. Content, add content, course outline. So my course outline for Math 2B, for example. This is one of the math courses in Sweden. This is some kind of description that explains to others what this course outline is, that I use Khan Academy, I use this book and whatnot, and I focus on this and that. And let's be nice to people and tell them what kind of course this is. This is national curriculum we use, called this. Add, save. There we are. And then we have a course outline here where I can add sections and give sections sizes. So I can say how many lessons I initially plan on spending on each section. I can add a lot of sections at the same time, and I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can find text document here. Yes. You can imagine that I sit down with some other teachers and discuss how this course should be taught. And now this is in Swedish, sorry about that. Paste it in here. So we have the name of the sections here. and some sections I have like comma 2 trailing. This is the number of lessons. It defaults to 1, but if I want to spend more than one lesson on a section, I could indicate this by having comma 2, comma 2, comma 2, comma 1. That's interesting. This is unnecessary, but it works. I have some, well, you get the point. And add. And this is being processed in the background. That means I can have a cup of tea. Right. And here we are. Sections. A lot of them going in here. And I could visit each of these sections, give them description, resource lists, and things like that. And then when I have a course offering, let's go here. I'm going to keep this open. And here's a jump menu to my course offering, Spring 2013. Here, go to administration, and I can say I want to use my course outline here. Let's select all of the lessons. Scroll down in the advanced actions here. I can fill the lessons with a course outline. And I select my course outline for Mathematics 2B. Next. And I don't have enough lessons to fill these, to use this outline actually. It says updated 55 lessons, 29 lessons were missing to fit the whole outline. So I couldn't fit my whole outline here, and that's kind of good to know. But we now have lessons pointing to the sections that I created before. You can see some of them are repeated, 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 1 of 2. And then I have spare lessons here that I can use to, well, as a buffer when I need to move around in the schedule. If I look at the week list, it is now updated and leads to links to all these sections. And it has the section descriptions that are empty right now, but that can be changed, of course. And also this calendar here contains the information necessary. This calendar can, well, it has an iCal export. Let's actually try that. Let's take that one. Open an iCal. Yeah, sure. Let's have a look next week. Here it is. I think it's this one, this one, this one. I have done some imports and exports already, so it's kind of a mess here. But you can see I get the content from this calendar into my own calendar. I have this in my Google Calendar as well, which is kind of neat. I can see in my phone which lessons I'm going to have in the afternoon or tomorrow or so. Almost done. Let's. I want to show you a few more things. Let's go to the administration here. You saw before that yeah, the iCal export is not 100% working. It has some, it generates some error messages while generating the iCal file. You saw before you could push lessons down. You can also push them up in case you have some spare time or so and you want to move lessons up the schedule. And you do that by using the advanced actions and this shift lessons up down. And you can say I want to move these down 2 steps or 3 steps, and you can also move them up by like entering -1 or so. Okay, I wonder what else we have to show. We have, well, the resource bank, the like library of resources to use. I've added some resources to one of my sections, and it could be that this is useful for someone else. I don't think it's indexed yet, but let's see. No, it's not. Okay. Now this is going to generate a few error messages. Let's have that in the background so we don't see the error messages. This uses Search API and has a separate index and things. Let's see here now. Here we are. Okay, so I can search anywhere on the site. You can see we have some error messages, warnings here. Anywhere on the site I can just search for, say, geometry, which is the Swedish word for geometry. Oh no, okay, sorry. Damn it. Yeah, I've changed the URL. This is a bug that needs to be fixed. Okay, it should redirect to this page, geometry, and it will search for all the stuff that matches geometry. I can enter this one. I get all the things. And you can filter. This is faceted search, so you can search. I want to look at course sections or resources or particular national curricula or keywords like this. Let's have a look at the resources. You can see, oh, no, I can't see that any of these is from Khan Academy. Let's go over to browse resources. I figure that resources is probably the thing you want to look at the most. So we can see here, dividing fraction at Khan Academy. That seems useful. Let's have a look at that. And you find, well, can read some more about this resource and think this is really good, I want to use it. But then you see also, oh, this is used in someone's section already. This is used in repetition from previous course. That's kind of interesting, because I'm working with repetition from the last math course. And it just turns out that this section here is exactly what I want to use, what I want to have. So I can use this in my own course outline, even though I didn't create this course section. Alright, so that's a huge, well, an avalanche of information, but I think this is about what I want to show you about the course planner. It's a pretty big project. It's very tailored toward a specific purpose. It has actually quite minimal of Drupal code. Let's have a look at that. We are make file. It has shitloads of dependencies. Here are all the modules that are required to run a course planner. And then we have course planner search as well, that adds another number of modules. The actual code isn't that much. We have here course planner.module, 200 some 200 lines of code, including comments. Most of this is cosmetics, like some form alters and hiding things away. Not very much. Most of the actual functionality is built as rules actions that are called, like, let's see, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to my course offering. We are administer. Like all these things, most of these are custom rules actions that I've written, and also the mass adding, bulk adding of sections into course outline. That's a rules action, and then I'm using something called rules panes to get these actions as buttons or forms in panels. It's kind of useful. So we have 200 lines of code in the .module file, of which most is cosmetics. And then in the rules file we have like more, like 500 something lines of code. But this is not very much for all this functionality, I think, and I actually think this has been kept to a pretty good level. Alright, if you find this interesting, please let me know. It would be fun to get some feedback. I'm promoting this a bit in Sweden, having some colleagues using this. I have it live on a site called kursplanering.se. Running here, I have, well, I'm adding stuff every day at work, because I use this in my everyday work as a teacher. Yeah, that's kind of it. Course planner at Drupal.org. I hope you find this interesting. See you around. Bye.